Hello everyone, this is LdJ8Z4dhNDJtvNobjz6D2t45sBidkFjknv and welcome to version 4 of the Ultimate Viking Mod. So much has changed that I really need to make a new video for the description of the mod itself. So, starting off, as you can see we have a new Viking Empire. This won't remain the Viking Empire for very long, but it's the Empire. It includes the areas of Markland, Vinland, and Greenland. Can't really do much with Helluland up here because, well, we just don't have that far north for the map for this game, which is unfortunate to say the least, but it keeps this area from being too populated with too many provinces. So, this nation and the derivative nations that it will form have the Viking tech group. This increases tech cost by 50%, reduces power by 1 per month, and has a 50% cav infantry ratio. They also have Norse paganism religion. So, Norse paganism, nice dark blue. I guess it looks more purple in game, but it's actually a dark blue. It has no red in it whatsoever. So I don't know why it looks slightly purple on my screen, but it's blue. And they get bonuses for morale and what was the other thing that I gave them? I forget. Well, we'll go into the game and I'll show you what they are, but they have Viking ideas. Their traditions are that they can see any colony. They can see adjacent provinces when a colony is made. This is the Russian this is one of the Russian ideas. So if I go to Moscow, they'll have eventually, yeah, Siberian frontier. Adjacent territory is automatically discovered when a colony is built, +1 colonist. So I effectively gave them the adjacent territory without the colonist anymore. And then I gave them morale. And then their ambition, once you get all of this stuff, is shipbuilding time. They also have Born to Expand. It increases their colonial range. The Way of the Waves, for a 10% reduction in the naval maintenance. Coastal Raiders, to decrease your monthly war exhaustion. That value is the same as what you get in the innovative idea group. It's exactly the same, so you can max out at -0.2. Hardy Seaman gives you 5% morale and then 15% increased chance of new heir. The Nordic Trade Empire, which is a 10% trade income bonus, -10% to land attrition from ice dwellers, and the Modern Nordic Empire, which gives you a 10% bonus to discipline. Okay, so now that we're through that game crash, it's time to discuss some of the things that we need to talk about now that we're in the game about this nation. Let's start with the ideas. Well, we've already done the ideas, so we don't have to go through this again. Let's go with the religion. So the religion has morale of armies plus 10% and then -10% infantry cost. What this means is battles at the beginning are gonna be freaking bloody thanks to the extra 10% from here that you also get. So they're gonna be bloody. Expect that. You have a pretty good, decent early game general. Remember, fire doesn't really matter at the beginning of the game. Just shock and siege, really, and then maneuver too. You'll also notice that we have our own units for our tech group. Our Viking units. They focus on attack pips and shock pips. That's what their focus is. Fire, attack, and shock. Fire, not so much. They don't really care so much about fire. It's all about the attack. Even the attack morale is better than the defensive morale, and so on and so forth with their cav units. There is a big gap here because I completely intended you to westernize at some point even prior to this. Please, for the love of God, westernize. Don't get to these. Don't ever get to these. Just westernize. They have the Eastern Tech sprites, by the way. Is there anything else I need to discuss on this end at this point in time? So I guess I'll discuss what happens next. So after a few days, I actually want to start doing this and give them later, because this will happen. Revolution. So basically, your nation will fall apart into 3 constituent nations. Markland, which will have these 3 provinces, Vinland, which will have these 2 provinces, and Greenland, which will have these 2 provinces. You will gain claims on all the other provinces, and they will gain claims on you. And they will get free units and free ships. However, don't think that you can immediately declare war and survive, especially as like Vinland or Greenland, where you only have 2 provinces. Don't expect that. Remember that everyone has a plus 20% bonus to their morale. Hell, Greenland... Alright, so here's what we'll do. We'll pick Markland because they're bigger. And we'll go to our idea groups. So, instead of having that one Russian idea that allows you to see adjacent unexplored provinces from a colony, you get +1 land leader maneuver as Markland. Vinland gets +1 to leader siege. Greenland gets a +1 to leader shock. Bear that in mind. You also want to wait because these guys will delete their units. If you declare war immediately, they will not delete their units. Bear that in mind. Always remember that. I'm just going back here because I was flagged as yeah, I had that flag. What the hell is it called? I forget. He was isolated. He was isolated. Alright, so we're gonna declare war. Take Takmuk, sure. I have to wait for that naval battle. And since he only has two dudes, we're not gonna worry so much about it. The problem will be getting to Greenland, which is why, even though we're losing money right now, we're gonna build a cog. We're gonna build 2 cogs. Because you start the game with 4 transports. I want to be able to transport 6. Crush them. Things crush easier with the high morale. See, yeah, crushed. Alright, wait a day, split, go there. And then, I guess I will... Well, I'll split, and I'll send the... Alright. What are these guys? Alright, so 3 and 2, 3 and 2. Go that way. Blockade. Blockade, speed up. Get this done and over with. It's harder to do as Vinland because these guys can support more units initially because they have 3 provinces. So I'd say as Vinland, your first priority might be to take Greenland and build some stuff so that you can go and take Markland a bit easier. Don't start with Markland. That can be pretty terrible. Oh good, these guys are done. So now we can move 6 even though we have 7. once we take this, we should be okay. Really? Fine. It's like, seriously? Alright, annex. Don't worry too much about coring. You'll want to save your admin points. I'm gonna split. Select that. Go there. Go there. Oh look, they're down to 1. It's like, okay, fine. Crush them. Oh look, you're trying to run away. Go. Kill them. Split. Go there. And then, I guess we will heal up. One more month. Come on. There we go. Then we'll split off the barks, split the barks in half, and then... no, not create another unit. Protect trade in Gulf of St. Lawrence, and protect trade in Hudson Bay. Doing that will help keep the pirates away once we hit our next Diplotech. Ah, right, so what I didn't mention is that we have new trade goods. If we go to the trade goods map mode, we have whale oil and seal fur. Whale oil is the product of whaling, and it will only be available on coastal provinces. Since whaling is known to have taken place pretty much everywhere there's whales, I do believe that not limiting it up to here is a very good idea. Even though a lot of whaling took place up in this region, it's still more accurate to have it available on all coastal provinces. And then we have seal fur, which can only be gotten in these general regions around here. On any province, doesn't matter if it's coastal or not. So, yep, those are the new ones. And you also have the trading in modifiers. It's land attrition minus 5% for seal fur, and it's advisor cost minus 5% for the whale oil, so that they can see by the light of the whale oil. Because it was used for lamps. Basically, that's where that's come from. Come on, finish the siege, thanks. So, full annex. Alright. Now we're making money again. And we have an actual decision available. This decision is to form the United Viking Empire. Essentially, we'll become what we were, except we've changed our name and we've changed our country tag. Technically, we've changed our country tag. So we become an empire again. We gain 3 base tax in our capital, because our capital moved to Inu once we became Markland, and it'll now move back to Beathuk. See, moves back to Beathuk, and it gains 3 base tax. So, you may be wondering, what's gonna happen now? Well, we get these events. Relieving the population pressure, and as you can see, our balance went up significantly. Is that the province I want them? Yes, it is. So, this event will fire so long as you do not own a colonist, so long as you have 0 colonists, and so long as you don't have any other colonies. And it will pick a random discovered neighboring province that's empty, and it will give it 200 population, so 200 settlers in that place. It can happen in either of these two. Just remember that there's now this little button called a abandon. And that will immediately cause this to pop up with another random dice roll. So you can basically game the system, even though I completely intend you to get this one. Don't go for Nunavik. Don't go for this one. Go for this one. And since you have that perk, again, the Russian perk for adjacent territory automatically discovered when the colony is built, you can now see this one, Statakona, which doesn't actually have a visible name on it. Yeah, they need to fix some of this stuff with their province changes from patch 1.4. But this gets you closer to these guys, and the ones right next to them, the natives down here. That's what you're trying to get to, is to be next to the natives, because there is a event called a raiding event that happens to your neighbors randomly. It's a mean time to happen event of 24 months. It will reduce their relations to you by 20 for you to get a 5% bonus to tax income for 6 months. So yeah, that can add up, and it's one way to sort of make you not be friendly with your neighbors, essentially. And yes, we are now named the United Viking Empire. And essentially that is it. That's near enough all that I need to tell you, except that now you have access to form the Nordic Pagan Empire. This requires you to own many provinces in Scandinavia as well as Iceland. See, Reykjavik is Iceland, that first one. All you have to do is own them. You don't have to core them or anything like that. Just have to own them because, well, you'll have cores on them already for free because I give them to you by event. And you'll get prestige. You'll form the Nordic Pagan Empire. It is an empire, so yeah, don't have to worry about that. Yeah, and then it converts any province that you have that isn't part of your religion of Norse paganism to Norse paganism. And you can only take this event when you're a Norse pagan. So, bear that in mind. In fact, the series of events that lets you reclaim Iceland and lets you take Shetlands and Faroe and then parts of Norway and then the rest of the Scandinavian region, they only fire if you are Nordic pagan. And those events only fire after you get an event that gives you a choice to convert to Catholicism in 1510. So the way this will work is that in 1510 you'll get an event that lets you choose whether or not to convert to Catholicism. If you do, you convert and all your provinces will become Catholic at that point. If you don't, you'll get I believe it's set to 250 of each of the power points, and that's pretty much all you'll get. 5 years later, I think it's 5 to 10 years later, you'll get an event that will give you cores on Iceland. It gives you cores on Iceland, so you can declare war with whoever owns Iceland. Just declare war on them to take it, and it'll likely be really easy because you have a very strong navy, you're in a very strong position, even though by then you'll only have expanded probably down to about here-ish. Here-ish is where you'll probably have expanded to, unless you've gone and like conquered every native ever by then, which I don't really think is possible. The natives have been buffed significantly in patch 1.4. You are not gonna squish them instantly at this point in the game. Trust me, you're not gonna squish them instantly at this point in the game. But yeah, so you'll get cores, you'll get to be able to take those back for yourself, and then once you take at least one of the 2 places in Iceland, one of the 2 provinces in Iceland, you just need at least one of them, you'll get an event so long as about 10 years, like 5 to 10 years have passed, to take Shetlands and Faroe. So you'll get cores on Shetlands and Faroe. So you can declare war, take at least one of them in that war, And once that happens, you'll get claims on Norway. All of Norway. Every single bit of Norway. And then once you take at least one province from Norway, you'll get cores on all the rest of the Scandinavian region. And then once you get all of the provinces to take this to take this decision, you will form the Norwegian Empire, and your ideas will change from having the adjacent territory is controlled, well, it's discovered when a colony is built. It will change from that to a plus 3% missionary strength. And during that time, there will also be an event that fires that will give you 3% missionary strength during that entire time where you're taking over Scandinavia. So if you want to convert the provinces along the way, you can do that if you want. So, yeah, those are the events. That's pretty much the entirety of this mod in its current state explained. So, with that, I will see you next time for whatever update there's gonna be. At this point in time, I honestly have no definitive plans of what to do for this mod, and I do want to take a break for a little while, so yeah, please enjoy it, and I will see you next time.